Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on the Season 2 premiere of Humans Who Make Games, Adam Conover talks to comedian Ron Funches and Jean Goudon, creative director of the Assassin's Creed series. On Boogie Monster, Kyle Kinane and Dave Stone share a perfect recipe for the quarantined cook. This week on Profiles in Eccentricity, they cover the history of the Coruscant Unity cult, folks for whom a flat earth is ridiculous because they believe it's really a concave shell. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for our full list of shows, featuring hosts like Joe Coy, Amanda Seales, Jessica Chobot, and Jackie Johnson. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
Feral Audio.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-host Arm and Dan. Members, don't be a jerk, cause when the music quits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
All right, here we go. Ready? Jay?
Yes.
You in?
I'm in. Dan, you in? You ready?
You know what? I'm out.
All right. Shit. That's bad.
Fuck.
Yeah, he just said
I'm in.
Guys, I literally
Just sat down. I mean, he made his way in here. All right,
Not
everybody.
for nothing. It is a long drive
I know.
from the other side of the hill.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's
Dan,
a
if you're not
long
down-
round.
I hitched.
Jesus, Dan.
It seems stupid. In the days of Uber, you should really just not.
No,
have
he
to
hitched
hitchhike.
to an Uber.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
He got in with a
Uber
guy.
hitch.
Uber.
I think every time I Uber, I think I'm going to start hitching. When they pull up, act like you've hitched them.
Yeah.
Can I get in with you, man?
By the way,
Are you Daniel?
Uber hitch has to be like just a thumb on your phone.
Thumb swipe. You got a thumb
Are
swipe.
you taking Lyft? No, doing Uber
Are we
hitch?
started? Do we already start?
We already started the show.
This is
No
Dumb
way.
People Town. Yes, we start subtly, and our guest is Jon Hamm. Welcome to the show.
Hammer.
Hi guys.
Hammerstein
Please.
Ballroom.
Hammer.
Good
Don't
to have
hurt
you.
them.
Don't do that.
Don't hurt them.
Don't hurt them. Hammer, don't hurt them. Seriously. There was a moment when Atlanta was up.
When they were up in the first half, we were
And
like,
I literally was like, as Mr. Burns, begin the thawing of MC Hammer. Because I'm like, he's got to be frozen somewhere. He's cryogenically frozen.
pair of pants.
Whatever happened to that game? I didn't see the end. Was it okay? Atlanta won.
Don't spoil it for
Don't
me.
spoil it. I have it on DVR.
Yeah, I got to watch Game of Thrones first.
Game of Thrones. I'm gonna finish up finally House of Cards.
And then you have to watch 2 seasons of Mad Men? Why would you have to watch Mad Men?
Well, it's important that I like to like revisit it sort of retroactively.
And then you give your notes.
and then I give notes after it's aired.
Matt, wake up.
Had some thoughts.
Matt, I have a ton of notes on Lane's hanging. Can we make it funnier? I mean,
Can we?
I mean,
I don't think it can be.
we had to just talk about briefly. That show was so serious. There had to be like multiple takes where you were just fucking around and trying to be funny.
Always. I mean,
Always.
there was an episode of the show that I remember shooting called The Suitcase, which was me and basically like a two-hander with me and Lizzie Moss. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, we hadn't like, our characters had like so many like serious things. But for that whole episode, the 8 days we shot that thing, we were just being idiots, just goofball idiots. Yep. And then like, okay, we're rolling, and then we're like, now we're like weeping and sobbing, both of us.
Real.
Like, I remember when I gave up my child. Well, I remember being like an orphaned, awful, like, and just weeping. And then cut. All right, hey, yeah, fart sounds. You gotta do it.
That has to happen. Hi, Dan.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Kirk is with us.
I am.
I don't want to bring up any sore moment, but John Dan's a huge Cubs fan, and I want to talk about the hat that is sitting on the table right now.
It's beautiful.
The St. Louis Cardinals hat. You were wearing that hat at Wrigley.
Yes.
At the cut, like during the Cubs playoffs or World Series?
World Series.
World Series. I just love that Hamm is there for the World Series at Wrigley Field
and has to rep the Cardinals.
Wearing a Cardinals.
I mean, I don't want you to betray that's your team.
I had this. Okay, so
ultimate
I will tell
fuck
you
you.
this. It wasn't really that.
It is.
No, it's just his
not
favorite hat.
Really that. I first of all needed a hat.
Yeah.
Second of all, it wasn't like I was going to wear like a weird Sklars.
You could wear that hat.
Now I can.
Now he can.
Now that I have it.
Yeah.
And thirdly, I had this conversation during Game 5. I gave my like awesome Fox network seats that were like 12 rows behind home plate to some friends of mine, one of whom was from Chicago. And her friend, I was like, you guys sit in those seats. I had an extra, like a single.
Yeah.
I'll go sit in the nosebleeds.
Right, that was
so I
nice.
go sit in the nosebleeds, and I'm like, excuse me, pardon me, hi, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yeah. Up
guys.
top.
Sorry, one time, sorry. I swear to God, I'm not going to move. All the way in the middle in the obstructed view seats in Wrigley, of which there are a million.
Every seat is obstructed.
Kind of every seat is obstructed.
Every seat has a girder in front
So
of it.
I sit down, and I'm surrounded by blue and
Yeah.
baby bears and the
Yeah.
whole thing. And this guy turns around and he goes, "Ah, God."
Donna,
Look at this jackass. Look at this jackalope.
God.
This fucking guy.
And I go, what? He goes, I used to like you. I like you so much. And that hat.
That hat.
And I go, what? I go, explain it to me. I go, if the situation was reversed,
And you had tickets to the
and
Cardinals
you
game.
somehow had tickets in St. Would you not go? He goes, no, I'd go. I go,
Would you not? Would you wear a
Cubs hat?
You better believe
he goes,
you would.
You're goddamn right.
Right,
I
I
go,
would.
well,
So
then
why
what's
am I-
the difference?
You have to still like me now.
And he literally went, okay.
Wait a minute. That is a discussion that doesn't happen in this day and age. I feel like that was of another time that you were able to.
I took the man in. We understood one another.
You didn't meet him with abrasiveness.
I did not at all.
And that's why you helped him across the aisle.
And here we are.
It's okay. Maybe that's a pathway for us
Maybe.
to move forward. Well, I'm so happy you're here. There's so much to talk about, but we have stories. So I want to jump into a story right away.
do it.
Yes.
And Dan, I know, and then we'll talk about the Oscars SNAFU, which is just, we'll get into that in a
Oscars
second.
SNAFU.
Which, by the way, great name for a band.
Right.
Oscar SNAFU.
All right, this was sent in by
First album, The Envelope, please.
So good.
This was sent in by Neil. He used hashtag #DumbPeopleTown to send me this. Thank you to
you,
everybody
Neil.
who does that. At World Fuqua, Fuqua,
Antoine's brother, World.
Antoine's
World
brother.
Fuqua
Be
champ,
free. Yeah.
World Fuqua, be free.
Conigo Township, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Robert,
I'm drinking out of a Contigo
You are?
coffee mug.
You are?
Contigo Township.
Contigo
Coffee.
Township.
Robert Beck III needed some
RB3.
cold medicine.
Rob Beck.
No, that's Rod Beck.
Oh, sorry.
But I mean, maybe one of the best hair of any really. Rod Beck is
so many best.
Can
He
we
lived in
agree?
the trailer?
Wow.
Can we agree that Rod Beck was who Danny McBride based his character?
Well,
Completely.
obviously, but also like the fact that was that close to the top of your head because it took me about 3 beats to go.
Rod Beck.
Oh,
you don't have obscure San Francisco Giant relievers on the mind at all times.
Mostly just-
Former Cub. That's why I was bringing him
mostly
up.
just Rob Nen.
Which, by the way, I felt the Nen should have been the official like currency of like
And also-
Japan San Francisco, which was a
But
town in
there could
Big Hero 6.
also like had it been like this close, like it could have been Mad Nen.
Just Rob Nen having severe anger issues. Mad Men.
Mad Nen.
Well, Robert Beck III.
RB3.
Yep.
RB3.
RB3 needed some cold medicine, but ended up with a deer in his hands instead. Yes. The Conwego?
Is this the I want to
Somebody's
lick
gonna
an
yell at me.
antler
I'm
thing?
super confused with what's happening
Yeah,
right
so
now.
what has happened?
Wasn't like antler spray like that's a thing,
Antler spray was the thing. Lick the deer's antler.
What?
and it gives you strength. It's
Yes.
like it was almost like a legal steroid.
Is that real?
Yes.
Yeah, antler spray.
None of what you're saying is true.
100%.
Antler
I'm gonna look it up. Well, Dan, keep going. I'm gonna look
antler.
it up. I'm gonna look it up and
Also,
I'll tell you
Dan,
all about it.
What are you reading?
Oh, these are stories that people sent in, and then I formulated them.
Yeah,
put them
John has
together
not
for the
done this
I've
show.
not done this one.
Okay. That's right. We never even prefaced
yeah, we
it.
didn't
Tell us
preface
what it was.
this.
Lika May.
John, so we
These are
get
stories from my personal life.
no, these are stories that get sent in by, and we get to riff on them and go in any direction.
So some dude from Conwego Township,
Yes.
Pennsylvania.
wanted cough medicine holding a deer.
The resident had been at the Verizon store just outside Manchester Monday night. I love the movie Manchester Monday Night.
I know.
What's
So
it?
sad.
Verizon by Manchester by the Sea.
With his wife Tanya,
of Latter-day Saints. Based on the
RV3.
novel Push by Sapphire.
Which, of course.
RV3 and Tanya.
You know about my moment and the hardest moment to watch in based on Not Precious was when she drops the baby. Monique drops the baby. I just imagine a sound guy off screen who's like, I need one more for me.
Can we get one more
I
for me?
need one more.
I'm so sorry.
I heard a siren. We're like,
It was
we're in the
like-
hood.
No,
There's a siren all the time.
It's just that it's really bad.
The siren makes it authentic. I don't
would
tell you how
I
to
would
do-
love one more.
I don't tell you how to do it. Let me have one.
Deer antler spray helped Ray Lewis overcome his recent triceps tear, and VJ Singh has admitted to using spray supplement University of Alabama football players also allegedly use. Deer antler spray.
Spray. Okay.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Handler.
Dear
Evan Handler.
spray.
Dear Evan
You know,
Handler.
we said this
Evan
on
Handler.
We said this on Cheap Seats. If Evan Handler and Tyson Chandler did a
Show
sitcom
together.
where he was his handler. Evan Handler was Tyson
Chandler handler.
No, we call it Chandle with
Chandler with Care. Oh, of course you would. Of course you would.
That's terrible. Go, Dan.
No.
Tanya and Rob.
Perfect.
Tanya and Rob walked into the Giant store to get a couple things. Beck,
Were they by Giants?
they might be.
Yeah, give me 2 minute bowls and 1 Mark Eaton over there. I'll take a half eaten.
Hey, is that a half-eaten Eaton?
Yeah.
I imagine those are sports references of guys I do not know. I'll go with a Hagrid.
I'll get a
Fair
Hagrid.
enough.
Hey,
Also
where are
good.
the Hagrids? Are they over by
Also
the? They're over by
By
the
the
ant-
Spencer Dawes.
and the
They're
deer
right over
antler
there.
spray.
can't see it behind the George Mura sign.
Move the mirror sign.
I think Giant's just a grocery store. Either way,
Big Giant.
Beck, 45, an avid hunter,
Our age.
Old enough to know better.
Yes.
who most they put this in the article, who most call Bobby or Bob. To me, that's him telling the reporter,
Yeah, my name's.
and he wouldn't let
No
it
one's
go.
gonna know who this is if you
Doesn't
put
matter.
Robert Beck in.
He'd been battling a head cold for the last few weeks. They were there to get some Gatorade and cough medicine.
Sure.
So the couple grabbed a cart and went for
Scissor.
the first aisle. You do not need a cart.
Did you just
for-
say scissor?
You do not need a cart for Gatorade and coffee.
No,
No, you
They
absolutely
got one
don't.
anyway.
A
barely need that.
lot of this story does not ring true.
For 3 minutes, but 3 minutes.
First of all, they
into
went
the
to a
visit-
giant store.
For cough syrup.
Was it at the top of a beanstalk?
Hey. 3 minutes into their visit, a loud bang followed by some shouts and screams. Quote, first I thought, man, there's someone here with a frickin' gun, Beck said. Turns out that guess was wrong. A deer had busted through the glass of the entrance door at the grocery store. It was shortly after 9 p.m. I don't know how those two things are supposed to be tied together. For a little while, all Beck heard was people shouting. But between the screams, he heard one man yell, deer.
he was like on alert. I would have thought that. Honey, what's going on?
Deer! Deer!
Wasn't there a guy who played for the Tigers, Rob Deere?
Rob Deere.
for the Cubs.
Brewers.
Rob Deere was like 180 strikeouts and like 39 home runs.
39. It was
Batted
either out of the
220.
park
Yeah.
or sitting down.
Rob
He's-
Deere.
he
And he
was-
had a beautiful flowing mullet. A blonde mullet like you've never seen.
He made Steve Balboni look like a good hitter.
Bobby Beck III.
bones.
He then caught a glimpse of a doe running towards the store's bakery
By
section,
the way, Glimpse of a Doe, my favorite Prince record that was never
Never released.
where
never
muffins
released.
and donuts sit behind glass. In case anyone
Also-
did not know what a bakery
Muffins and
is.
the first single.
Well, that was
Muffins and
Diamonds and
Donuts.
Pearls was originally
Diamonds and Pearls was
originally going to be Muffins and Donuts, and then it became a
Give
different.
you muffins and donuts.
I'm about to read you the quote from Bobby Beck III, and based
A lot
off
of guys
this,
call him Rob.
we are going to know everything about him.
Okay, let's see it.
He saw the doe running towards a bakery where the muffins and donuts sit behind glass. Quote, when I see it, it was game on. He took this doe as a personal affront to his livelihood.
That's right.
And he is ready to go at a doe.
It's my turn.
Beck later learned the deer had made it back into the vegetable and fruits, but ran back towards the front. When he spotted the doe, Beck grabbed her around the neck, made her do a U-turn away from the bakery glass. Not the muffins.
No. Anything
It's
but
a point
the
of pride. That's like, he's like, I'm the last.
You ready to take a look at him?
Are we in Western PA?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're in Western.
Okay.
This is him. There's an obligatory guy in a camo coat, just for good measure. Look at him with the doe on the ground.
Yeah, he's
in
got
the
all
grocery
the
store
legs. This is a guy who now has too much confidence.
That's a 300-pound animal.
I thought you were going to say man.
And a deer.
and
And the deer might be 250 as well.
But there is something about it. The way he has it down on the ground, it's like, is he gonna fuck it? Like, like the way
No.
he's pushing
There
it down.
is a little.
But you know he's talking to it.
He's the deer whisperer.
Yeah, he's saying things to it. Stop. Hold on here. Listen. Listen.
Hey, easy
Not-
girl.
Not the muffins.
Not the muffins.
Not
Not
the
on my
donuts.
watch.
Easy girl.
Not today.
Easy girl.
Not
Not
today.
this guy.
Maybe, you know.
I have a very special set of skills.
He then started leading her. That was a good Liam Neeson. He then started leading her out of.
Wasn't.
No, you're just tired.
I thought it was.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't have much money.
I don't have much
I don't
to
have
do.
much money, but what I do have. Yeah, it's a little. There's a lilt in there.
Sean Connery.
He then started leading her out of the store, but she got spooked when they turned a corner and spotted more people. She was like, She then started kicking and squirming. The deer kicked him in the ribs, knocking him down.
Yeah.
Robbie Beck.
Does he go
Down.
back up? Does
No,
he get up?
Gets back up.
Of course he does.
I think she was scared from all those people, he said. She would, quote, now
Not
he's
mad at her. He's
inferring-
like, I get it.
Yep.
No.
This is
Well,
what he
actually-
said. You're right on. Quote, oh my God, what the heck did I get myself into, is what the deer thought. He's now telling us.
What? Quoting the
personified.
I
deer
think this is what Rob thought.
about his life.
Fortunately, Beck got some help from two other
I
shoppers,
leave.
including another hunter. That man offered to help hold the deer. Another man.
Also, it's the 21st century. No one's occupation should be listed
As
as hunter.
hunter.
No.
unless
You're
you
not-
are Hunter from
Even
the show.
the documentary,
Hunter.
or even the documentary, The Eagle Huntress.
Fair enough.
She calls herself a young
Even
woman.
if you're at the school of
By the
social
way,
work
if
at Hunter
only
University.
if you live in Mongolia,
Yes.
And even
can
still,
you say,
Hunter.
most
what do
people-
I do? I guess
Eagle
I'm an eagle
Huntress.
hunter.
I'm a
Eagle
hunter.
Huntress.
a huntress.
That man offered to help hold the deer. Another man put a jacket and shirt over her head. So we are now dressing the deer. The deer has been incorporated into the giant grocery store society.
When do they shoot it?
They led her outside to the side of the building near a field. Beck checked her out and noticed she had a bloody nose, which he guessed was from hitting the entrance. Other than that, she looked fine. Then she ran back towards Starbucks, and that's the last I saw her.
By the
I
way,
can say that about 10 people in my life.
Exactly. That's how so many romantic comedies have ended.
Remember,
She headed towards
remember Gail,
Starbucks.
Oprah's friend? That's how she
That's
died.
how a lot of misconnections
Ran towards
end on Craigslist.
Starbucks.
We never-
Last I saw
That's the
her.
last I saw.
I'm telling you, that's a Craigslist misconnection right there.
She bought 2 Nora Jones CDs and got the fuck out of town.
That's right.
Northeastern Regional Police responded to the giant
The Nerp?
store, not person. Yes, sir. The store ended up with minor damage by the time the officers arrived. The deer was long gone.
Guys, call the Nerp.
Guys,
this deer thing
Hey,
is
man.
getting weird.
It's over my pay grade.
I'm
Time to-
sorry.
Time to bring in the Nerp.
I am a greeter at Walmart.
I don't.
Bring in the Nerp.
Do I look like I work for Nerp? But the thing is, they were so humane with this deer, and they sent it on its way.
Dressed in clothes.
Yeah, but they're dressed the deer in clothes, and they're like, "We'll be shooting you next Sunday. Just go have."
Go
I like to imagine.
elsewhere because they can't shoot you in
Here.
a lighted place.
It doesn't feel
in
good.
a clean, well lighted place.
Right.
I like to imagine that around the time the cops are showing up across the street in the Starbucks, a barista was yelling, "Dern," and they were like, "Deer, it's deer." But fine. Dern?
Laura,
No, sorry, deer. Yeah,
Deer.
I know. I get it all the time.
I get it all the time.
Also, I weirdly have hands that I can raise.
right. And Laura Dern's like, "Mine's different."
Mine's different. I usually go by Lala,
I got it's a what?
which
Come on.
are we done with this fucking story? yet?
The department praised
Wes,
Beck's
getting
efforts.
there.
Still, it warned against the average citizen getting involved with controlling a wild animal. There's too much risk to injury of the citizen, the Northeastern Regional Police Chief Brian
Nerp.
Rizzo said.
Rizzo of the Nerp.
This is what I don't understand. It says, this is a quote from Brian Rizzo. If the citizen is an experienced hunter or someone experiencing wildlife, then I would say they should use their own judgment.
Yeah.
If you shoot deer, that does not mean you're qualified to then
exactly.
wrangle.
How much gray area and how much are we
thing.
leaving that up to the person who is that person?
I, as you guys both know, am from St. Louis, Missouri. The majority of people in my life were
Hunters.
quote-unquote hunters.
Would describe themselves as experienced enough to make that call.
Nope.
Sure.
And
Also,
how many of them were experienced enough to make that call?
I have maybe one cousin
that
I would trust to actually do any
You're
of that.
talking about guerrilla poachers versus Jane Goodall.
Yeah.
Like, who
Not a
knows
thing.
more about...
Exactly.
Yeah, child soldiers or Jane Goodall. Stealing
Rizzo says-
ivory to sell on the black market.
Right? Who
Rizzo
knows how
says,
to combat
in this case, it was a hunter who had experience in handling live deer. That is the opposite of what a hunter has experience
he has the
with.
experience of handling them after he's put
Carcasses.
a bullet in their
Yeah, the
heads.
deer carcass.
By the way, there are too many deer out there. Can I just say that right now?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's
bold
true.
you go,
stance.
have you been back to St. Louis? Like
Bold
at
stance.
night? There,
No.
I'll take a stance if I need to.
Wait, you guys are Creve Coeur.
Concur,
yeah.
But like we'd walk
Concur.
around, we walk around the neighborhood, and at night there are
Really?
just family of deer walking around in
I
a
have
way
that experience
did not.
in my neighborhood in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Really?
I have it here.
I've seen a couple deer kind of wandering. It's a very odd thing to see a deer in an urban environment.
Very odd and weird.
And you live right by the zoo, so that's a weird.
You
You
keep
do live
letting-
right by the zoo.
I bought a zoo.
I got bad news for you.
What happened?
Bad investment.
Really?
Bad investment.
how-
The
see
home
that.
zoo.
You know, we'll see. I'm not
you're
willing to
da-
judge it one way or the other yet, but we'll
if
see.
you're dating someone and they eventually by the third date say, "I also have a home zoo,"
Goodbye.
that's got to be a non-starter.
I know. I
right?
agree with you.
That's got to be a we're done here.
That's what you call Nerp.
Yeah. So you call Nerp and say what's going on.
For Beck, Monday's thrill.
We're still doing this story.
Yeah, it was nothing new. This is what I love about him. This is what he says. Quote, "My generation is a dying breed. People aren't into our lifestyle anymore. They'd rather sit at home and play a video game than enjoy the outside." You know
Except
that
that you
Except you
took
got
care of
a deer in a
indoors.
Walmart.
Yeah,
Inside.
you bagged a deer inside.
That's
of a
why I
giant-
voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's
there
the
it
end
is.
of that sentence.
Yeah, that is.
Well, we'll get out on this. Apparently, he was able to subdue the deer in 50 seconds after it burst inside. The store told him they appreciate it because it could have done a lot more damage. And he said, to replies of that, "That's just like a rodeo record." That is not how a rodeo works. Nobody is
No.
keeping record of how long it takes
No.
you to subdue a deer in a grocery store. But Rob Beck
But man, in
doesn't
Rob's
give a
head,
shit.
he's like, I did
just-
it.
it's
I
just
saved
like
the
a rodeo
world.
By the way, if someone roped a calf in 50 seconds, they'd be laughed out of
They'd
the
be
room.
I
the
know,
worst.
it's way too long.
That's the
Way
worst.
too long.
Like 8
It's like
seconds.
a rodeo record, but the other way.
in the wrong direction.
It's,
yeah.
by the way, it's like the guy in the Olympics who comes in last.
Yeah, it's Eddie the Eagle of.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but in the sprints, there's a guy who,
There's always
obviously
one
like
guy.
one guy who's so but he does have world class speed. Okay, because he's in the class with the other
Sure.
world class people. But he would be beaten by so many people. He's the last guy in
I
the
think
heat.
50 seconds is the amount of time it'll take Rob Beck to bring this up if you meet him.
yeah.
Oh, I
For
think
the
it's way closer to 5.
Yeah. How you doing?
Hey, Rob Beck, yeah.
How's it going? Nice to meet you, man. Nice
You
to meet
probably have heard of me.
No, we have
No, you actually probably have.
What?
I was the guy who took down that deer at the Walmart
Oh, you're
in the
that
pastry
guy.
section. Yeah, it was a tight 50. I got it. I got her down.
50. All right.
And
50
right on
seconds?
out.
Wow.
50 seconds.
And what do you
yeah,
do
it's
for-
kind
what
of
do you do for a
record.
living?
I'm mostly a hunter.
Oh,
Yeah. You might have heard me. I'm on Nerp's website.
You got Nerp?
At this point.
Let me
You
look
know
and
the
see.
people from Nerp?
Let me look it
Wow.
up.
Just a hunter.
For Pharrell Williams' band Nerp. No, that's Nerd.
That's Nerp.
Hey,
Hey.
don't worry about it.
Don't tell me what it
Don't
is.
tell me what I do.
I'm sorry,
I'm a
were
pro
you
hunter.
Were you the guy who took down the deer in 50
Yeah.
seconds, or was I?
Or-
I'm
or
sorry.
was it me?
Was it me? Or
I'm
was it
having
you?
trouble
Because
remembering.
I guess you're welcome. Is what I'm getting at.
You guys- I should have read the shirt. I didn't notice the shirt you were wearing.
What was the shirt say?
It literally says, look at it. It says 50 seconds, I got her down.
Yeah, that's right. It's a great
shirt.
shirt.
Says 50 seconds got her down.
I sell them on my website.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what is this?
50seconds.org.
50 seconds.
With the
I
org.
couldn't get calm.
That's fine.
It's all good.
I love it. It's a government run, like a school sort of a
A
website.
lot of people stumble on your site when they're looking up 50 Cent. They end up on 50 seconds. And they end up
I get a lot of 50 Shades people also. But it's not that.
Although there was a moment when you had the
There was
deer
some
down.
crossover.
Yeah, you had the deer down
Put
on
a
her
little
back.
lace mask
50 seconds dark.
on that beautiful deer face.
Turn those ham hocks over. All right, let's take a break.
Yes.
First segment down with the great Jon Hamm in the books. When we come back, we'll talk about Oscars SNAFUs and other great, wonderful things with Jon Hamm. This
Is SNAFU's the preferred?
SNAFU?
SNASFU?
SNASFU.
SNASFU.
Talk about Oscar SNASFU.
It's like runs batted in.
And all
RBI.
the runs batted
Attorneys General.
in. R's beyond. We'll be back with Dumb People Town right after this.
Working remotely can be a challenge, especially for teams that are new to it. How do you deal with your work environment being the same as home while staying connected and productive? And then there's your newest coworker, the cat. Well, your friends at Trello have been powering remote teams globally for almost a decade. At a time when teams must come together more than ever to solve big challenges, Trello's here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, is an app with an easy-to-understand visual format, plus tons of features that make working with your team functional and just plain fun. Trello keeps everyone organized and on the same page, helping teams communicate, focus, and connect. Teams of all shapes and sizes at companies like Google, Fender, Costco, and likely your favorite neighborhood coffee shop all use Trello to collaborate and get work done. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com. Trello.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Dumb People Town. I want to remind people we're going to be in Cleveland.
Hilarities.
Doing shows.
Never done like a weekend of shows there. The 9th through the 11th of
And
March.
just to be clear, when you say we, I will not be included.
Jon Hamm will not
John
be there.
won't be with us, although how great would that be?
Oh, that'd be fun.
So
I
fun.
just toured with you guys.
Oh, that would be so much.
I
You're
have
welcome
been in
to
Cleveland
come.
one time.
And?
For a wedding.
Did you
I was on the visiting team.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I've married. My friend married the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's a bizarre wedding.
So it was so great.
Yeah.
It was the first wedding that I had attended as an adult because we were all like all my friends from high school were there, and we were in our 20s, and one of our pals got married, and it was a lovely wedding, and she was a beautiful lady and a model. So we were all like, ooh
Cleveland model.
Yeah.
Cleveland model. And
That's more than just hot in Cleveland.
it's more than hot in
It's
Cleveland.
hot everywhere.
It was hot in the world. And we were all super excited because we were like, we're going to go to this wedding.
And there are going to be
There's
models
gonna be
there.
Models
there.
And there were, and it was fun. And we danced.
Yeah.
And that was my only experience of Cleveland. So I'll say this about Cleveland.
Tons of hot women
Thumbs up.
everywhere.
I mean, models everywhere.
Models everywhere in Cleveland. I can't wait to just be showered by models. in
City of
Cleveland.
Champions.
City of Models, City of Champions.
We can
they
call
are.
them champs now.
They're world champs
They're
as we
wo-
speak in basketball.
City of Champion.
Champions.
City
City of
By the way.
Champion.
City of Champion.
Like,
That's a
let's
great way to
not
open it.
go
Cleveland,
crazy.
City of Champion. That's the way we got to open up our set. Thanks, John.
Believe land, achieve
And get
land.
booed off the stage.
No, we're there, and then we're in Portland with Dan. Dan's going to come with us the 22nd through the 24th.
That'll be fun.
This month. There's also
I got to talk about. You watched the Oscars last night. Does that now make it so that on any live show anywhere you can't fuck up that bad? That's the worst that.
Well-
because you've hosted the ESPYs.
I did.
And that must have been slightly nerve-wracking.
No.
No?
I mean, because it's the ESPYs.
I know, but I mean, still, it is hosting a massive event like
Look,
that.
live television has an element of something to it. And in fact, when I hosted the ESPYs, there was a package at the beginning of my monologue, whatever, yada, yada, where I was supposed to have some basketball joke. And I was meant to turn around and there was going to be a very short highlight clip. And when I turned around, it wasn't there, which actually played as a better joke.
Yeah, that it's not there. You
That it
can
wasn't
make fun
there.
of it.
So you just like move on and you go through it. But that's like live television. So,
That'd be
yeah.
like someone accepting the Stuart Scott Award, and then you're like, no. Actually, that's this other person who's dying.
I've the only other situation that is remotely comparable
SNL.
was Steve Harvey
Yes.
boning
Universe,
the Miss Universe,
Oh, yeah.
getting the wrong name.
I mean,
whatever.
and Kimmel made reference to it.
And he did.
He made
in the
reference-
moment, he
That is
was
brilliant.
smart enough and quick enough
He
to
is, and he is that.
So I guess it went down as
That is the biggest fun.
But boy, oh boy, it doesn't get weirder than that.
No. Giving their acceptance speeches. I mean,
and by the way, God bless whoever the guy from La La Land was,
Very
who's
gracious.
like, "Hey,
This is wrong.
This ain't us."
which, by the way, is infinitely.
Also, by the way, Tuesdays on NBC.
This ain't us. Really?
It's all.
It's a response to This Is Us.
This ain't
Other
us.
people's problem.
It's other. No, it's everything going right.
It's just
Everything's great.
Everything's beautiful.
ain't
This
us.
ain't us. Somebody died of cancer? Yeah,
Well, this
not
ain't
us.
us. Not us.
Not us.
Is that us?
Guys, we're
This
good.
ain't us.
This ain't us.
This ain't us.
Hey, hon, is this us? Oh, this ain't us? All
ain't
right.
us.
Imagine. Okay, so John, you did stand on a stage and receive an Emmy. Midway through your speech, someone comes up and is like, "No, no, sorry."
I will say this.
Yes.
I will say this. Every single time I've been remotely close to any award,
Yeah.
I look at that envelope
That you
just in case.
To see if it was
See
wrong?
if it says my name.
Jeez.
You gots
You gots to.
I
Because
guess
if it
you
is.
do.
And by the way,
What about the Marisa Tomei story?
That's what I mean. And now,
That's-
does this now then put the lie to that story?
do we
Because-
open that back up?
Because that
So what happened?
clearly somebody.
I don't think
Explain
so, 'cause-
that. Do you know the story of the Marisa Tomei
Explain
story?
it.
Yeah,
Explain
So
I do.
My
Jack,
cousin Vinny.
we'll call him Palance.
it. Palance.
Palance.
Plants, I like
He
that.
has
I like
balance
Palance.
issues.
Good, great Palance. One arm push up.
Yeah.
It was
Jack Palance, in the heyday of city slickerness, was tasked with giving an award out to the best supporting actress of 19 something.
Probably 90,
3,
93, 92.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's just throw a number in the hopper.
2004.
This ain't us.
Saying us. Saying us.
And the award went in a shocker, in an upset, to Marisa Tomei for My Cousin Vinny. Now, immediately, or almost immediately, the internet, which didn't exist back
Sure.
then,
Just the chatter around.
went crazy saying it was a mistake.
Who should have won that
he's
year? Do we know?
Meryl Streep, let's say,
Yeah,
who knows? It was
it's probably
somebody else.
somebody
Somebody
else.
British or somebody
Yeah,
like
exactly.
dramatic.
Dame Meryl Streep.
Dame Meryl Streep.
I would love to have Dame for people who are less, not as accomplished. Like,
Or just in a different light. Like Dame Sarah Silverman. Like she's accomplished.
Absolutely.
But that to
Why-
me would be funny.
That would be a good move.
she should now start going by Dame Sarah.
Sarah
Silverman.
Silverman.
Let's get that a thing. Let's make that a thing.
Hashtag it.
So,
anyways, so everyone said like there was clearly some.
He made a mistake.
He made a mistake. Like
or
he's-
no, it said something else, and he
read it wrong, or he wanted to like whatever. And
What if,
the more like
it's
the more you like listen to the story, the more you realize like no, this clearly didn't happen. And now putting the lie to that because
Of
we've
this,
seen what happens.
it can't happen.
Somebody literally would have been like, no,
No,
it's not
someone
you.
would have stepped out from the back because they know the answers.
Yeah. I looked it up. It was 1993.
Nice, Dan.
The real winner was supposed to have been Vanessa Redgrave, is the theory
what was she in?
behind all of this.
What movie?
It doesn't say
The
here.
Redgrave Files?
This person wrote this
The
is on
Redgrave
Snopes.
Diaries.
The Redgrave Chronicles. The man with one Redgrave shoe.
Palance had erroneously called out the wrong name because he was unable to read the printing on the card inside the envelope, became confused, or
Not a
was
thing.
too drunk or stoned to
Not a
announce the
thing.
winner properly.
Not possible.
This is
Not
what
a thing.
Snopes said.
Although, it is, if it was a thing, like it made her career, it gave her, I mean, she was great in that performance and she still would have had a career.
her
But to be an
performance-
I've
honest
had the
winner-
good fortune to actually hang out and speak with Marisa Tomei, who might be one of the loveliest people.
We met
on
her
the
worked-
planet.
we worked with her
as well.
and met her and loved her.
Amazing.
Before
Great
the Devil Knows You're Dead.
lady.
So good.
Amazing lady. Great movie.
and so yes, there's no version
Right.
in the world where this story is true.
Can't be true.
Because Jack Palance is not so drunk or high
And
or
even if he was, I
anything that
think
he's
we
like
learned-
blurp blap blorp. That doesn't happen.
I
Or
think we
so
learned-
powerful that no one would be worried to be like, hey, you made a mistake,
You're not like,
Jack.
You're not gonna
Yeah,
no one's gonna be like
We gotta.
Jack,
We can't. We'd rather live with the mistake than tell Jack Palance he was wrong. Did you just see that?
a crap bigger than you.
Did you see
Palance
that?
is mad.
Did you see that kind of one arm push up out there? You don't want to piss this guy off.
No.
He might literally
Start doing more
breathe on
push-ups.
you.
Not to mention that we learned last night that if they say it wrong, PricewaterhouseCooper and producers run onto the stage to correct it.
Yeah, they freak
so
out.
that would have happened at this.
That's what I mean. Like, we see now what happens when they bone it.
Right. So that's not
And
what
I
happened
mean,
in
there was a
93.
moment where Warren Beatty, who has had so much work done,
I mean, Warren Beatty, like,
he probably thought to himself, "Holy shit, I am so old." You know what I mean?
Warren
Like, at
Beatty
that
and
moment.
Diane Lane. There's a moment where, like,
Not
when they
Diane Lane. That was
Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway.
Same thing.
The Diane Lane.
Well,
I'm kidding. I know it's
send
Faye
your letters
Dunaway.
to at Sklar
I'm
Brothers.
kidding. I'm
That's
kidding.
SK.
I meant to say Faye Dunaway.
Jesus, she's mad as hell.
Network,
She's not gonna
fine.
take it anymore.
I knew what I meant to say.
Right.
That's
By the way, not for nothing, Faye Dunaway's character in Network went to the University of Missouri.
Oh, really? Journalism school.
Very good.
So that's the moment where you're like, oh, we can't let old people do things anymore. They can't handle the
But
important.
I don't think that's what it was.
It's
I think
not
he
But it
was-
wasn't their fault. But it
he
wasn't
looked
their
at
fault.
it and he knew it was wrong, and I think he showed it to her to be like, "What the hell do we do here?" And
Right.
she just saw the words "La La Land" because she didn't know that he was looking to her to be like,
didn't
"What
That's
are
your
we?"
mistake.
Now-
in like turning to Faye Dunaway and saying, "You handle it."
That
I think-
is-
that's-
I
I
will
think he was
say.
trying to
I will
confer.
say.
That is the mistake.
Maybe don't throw your partner under the bus.
Well,
Maybe like make it a moment. Be
Yeah.
like, I don't know what this is, and I'm
Can
not
someone
being
come
this
out
thing,
here?
but
We're not.
says-
This is a really big
says
moment, and
Emma
we don't want to
Stone.
screw
it
this
says
up.
someone's name. Yeah.
And by the way,
This picture.
what if he just would have said Emma Stone, and she got back up and was like, "I guess I won Best
I
Picture."
won Best Picture alone.
The envelope they were holding also said "Best Actress." The outside of the
Yes.
envelope, not even just the card.
Boy, you guys, it was
Let's
Wanna do a story?
Let's do another
Bone City.
story. Let's
All right.
bone. It's Ken Boneland. We're
Ken-
Bone.
Oh, Bone Zone, by the way.
The Bone
CPAC. Did you guys see? He had,
he
he
there?
had his own
Did he have a
deal
moment?
with CPAC.
Did he really?
Not to be confused with CPAP.
Which
which
helps
is
you
very
break
Although the CPAC helps me sleep. I mean, even better.
CPAC doesn't help me sleep at all. It makes me
Makes you
scared.
nightmares.
But there was a
Bone Zone?
Bone Zone.
a bone sighting.
Yes.
Took him to the bone.
Okay, I will say, can I share this?
Took him to the boneyard.
A friend of mine just said the Oscars ended well, and look at this.
What
Oh
is
shit!
that?
I just. What was
It's,
that?
the Oscars ended
What?
well.
Explain it
what
for our,
it-
for our
I'm
listeners,
sorry.
please.
It's the final scene from Bonnie and Clyde.
Shoot him up.
He just had a lot of bullets.
Are you ready?
Yes,
It's a
let's do
good
it.
movie.
Here we go. Sent in by at Stuperfly, Crispin Cott. sent
Love
this
this
in.
dude.
All right. A ritzy Manhattan wedding, rehearsal, dinner, descended into a brawl after the groom's parents objected to a toast on the eve of the couple's nuptials at the Pierre Hotel, according to a lawsuit by
A lot
warring
of emotions
would-be
running
in-laws.
high at,
Yes.
at a rehearsal dinner.
Yes.
That,
At
who
the
knew?
Pierre.
At the Pierre.
And these are,
Have you stayed at the Pierre?
No,
but you know it.
but I've been there.
the cost of this wedding, $325,000.
Out of here.
I would have gone 350.
350.
If you're that deep in.
Look, if you're
Hey,
at the
that ain't
Pierre,
us.
so they clearly didn't go for the full package at the Pierre.
Exactly. I would
They
say,
skimped on something.
Just spend
Spend the
money.
$350.
Is there anything worse though than
Than a $325,000 wedding.
yes at the Pierre? Number 2, amateur hour on the mic at the rehearsal dinner.
Okay,
people
so-
who aren't funny. I know you've got a story. You have to have something in the chamber from this. I mean,
What
I'm
about
sure
the model wedding?
model
Did
wedding? Did
deliver a
someone?
bad speech?
Yeah, I'm sure someone dropped bad stuff.
It was probably me. I think I was like super teary when I had to like do a thing.
If I could for a moment.
I love you.
Guys, say, hold
John, we
on,
do not need you to give a speech right now.
but I'm going
All
to.
right, let him do it. Let him do it for 2 seconds.
Yeah,
No, I mean we've all been there for that.
I can't believe that a
On
toast
October
came to blows.
On October 28th, 2016, the night before Bradley Moss and longtime girlfriend Amy Bazura were to tie the knot. Bradley's
She went
parents.
to the University of Missouri.
She went to the University of Missouri.
Bradley's parents.
I actually prefer to call her Amy.
She went to Upsal.
Amy Missouri.
I prefer to call her Amy Missouri.
It ends in an I, guys.
Yeah, guys.
Not a UH. There's a fucking I at the end. I'm sorry.
Hooray! Hurrah! Bazur!
Bazoo. Bazoo. Hooray. Hurrah. Bazoo. 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 Tigers. M-I-Z. B-O-U.
Perfect.
B-I-Z.
B-I-Z. B-O-U.
Well, Bradley and Amy and Bradley's parents and Robert and Wendy Moss hosted the meal of their rehearsal dinner at the
makes
Blue
sense.
Water Grill in Union Square.
Know it well.
Been there.
Been there.
Been there.
Oh, have I been there?
Bought the
B-W-G.
But the parents of Bradley, they took offense to the bride's brother Adam Bazura as he was about to make a, quote, heartfelt toast, is what he described it, and video tribute.
His words.
And a video tribute that he had set up.
Oh, shit.
This sounds like a jerk-off video.
No, not that file, not that file.
No, God, no.
Over.
Robert Moss.
-1.
Click down.
Not the file
Drop
that says
down.
Not the file that says you up. Come on. Hey, no.
Click down. Click down.
-1. Video tribute. -1.
It's going to be heartfelt, guys.
It's gonna be
Heartfelt. You
not hard-felt. Heart with a T. God, you guys, one job.
One freaking job.
He was going to give a heartfelt toast. They say this all came out in the Manhattan federal court suit filed by Amy's dad, Bruce.
Wow.
Robert Moss, Bradley's dad, 65, inexplicably and angrily declared that Adam was not allowed to speak at the dinner. He does not want
His own son.
No,
his son-in-law.
His
son-in-law.
Future son-in-law.
Brother.
no, yeah, his daughter-in-law's brother.
To
Yes.
speak.
So
He's the father of the groom.
And he doesn't
want
the
the bride's brother to speak.
He doesn't want him
so this
saying
will be
shit.
Okay.
He growled, quote, "Do you know what I can do to you?" If you're at the rehearsal dinner and you're
Never
already
a
at this
good
level,
question.
this has been building.
set of skills.
Again,
Very special set of skills.
You've taken the last speech.
he threatened to kick Adam out.
Let me take that
Bruce.
video from you.
Threatened to kick Adam out, and quote, "Events then began to escalate."
This is like when the two old guys from Cal and Stanford fought on stage. Remember, they were together and like and the one guy hit him with the cane.
Yes.
It's like really hard to watch. Really, really hard to watch.
Yeah, because they thought he was
Norman
joking.
Mailer.
Yeah. Oh, Norman Mailer and Rip Torn.
Torn.
Have we talked about this?
Fist fighting.
Fist fighting in that movie that was an experimental movie, and the kids crying.
There's children there. One of them
it's
actually
like on the farm. On the farm.
13-minute fight, right? It's like super
A real
long. Yeah.
and like
Now,
yeah.
one of those guys, I guarantee you, growled something at that point.
for sure.
Do you know what I can do to you?
Yeah, I can do it to you.
Wendy Moss.
Who said that? Rip or Nor? Like we can't.
Mailer.
Wendy Moss, 60, began arguing with Adam and the groom's brother, Michael.
Brother.
He walked up. Okay, so now the mom is arguing with her future son-in-law. Okay? Then the groom's brother, Michael, her son, slugged Adam in the kisser. He just walks up and cold cocks this guy at the rehearsal dinner.
The groom.
His brother.
Her brother.
Yes.
Her brother
Is
hit-
arguing with the mom.
And
then
the groom comes up and smacks
groom's
the brother
brother
in the
does.
face.
The groom's brother smacks
Yes.
that.
It's all good. I brought a flow chart. The groom's dad then tried to charge Adam while Bruce, a 66, struggled to hold him back. The evening ended in shouting and tears, and the groom's mom phoning guests on the spot to tell them the $325,000 wedding was off.
Yeah, because you can't go to a wedding the next day.
No.
Next line in this article, but the nightmare was just beginning.
They still hadn't gotten their crusted tuna
Yes.
at the Blue Water Grill.
To make sure the relationship was dead, Robert Moss, owner of Long Island Pipe Supply,
No, it will.
open that
one
video
of the,
tribute.
One of the better porns I've ever seen.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Get
beautiful,
over here.
Great story.
I'm gonna lay down.
Get
so
over
much
here. I
pipe.
got a J trap for your ass.
I'm gonna
Time to
visit you, Gold Coast.
Time to clean out you with my
I'm gonna
snake.
lay you down in Manalapan.
Robert Moss.
New Jersey.
This is the father of the
I know, I
groom.
couldn't
Father
come
of the
up with
groom.
one either.
Manhasset.
I'm gonna lay you down and
Amagansett.
Drill you in Sands
I'm gonna
Point.
take you to Sayville.
You want to see a great neck? Look at this.
Hey,
Look at this. Oh!
I'm gonna bring down my Nassau and Suffolk counties.
Time to take out the old Woodbury.
Lay the wood.
Lay the Woodbury.
Long Island Pipe Supply.
Yes, Robert Moss, the father of the groom.
Bobby Moss.
He threatened to toss his son from the business and cut him out of the will if he went ahead and still married Amy. They are done with her.
This is like an any
Kind of
excuse
now
thing.
need to see a picture.
Now, yeah, of everybody.
This is now an any excuse to end this wedding sort of a
A
thing.
little bit. And also, by the way, Bobby, calm down. Not your wedding.
Not your
Not
wedding.
your wedding, not your call.
I do have a picture for you. I can show. It will also be shared. Everybody, if you want to see pictures and documents for everything we do, if you follow at DP Podcast, DPT Podcast, you can see all of this stuff.
DPT is short.
This is them. This is Amy and Bradley Moss right here.
Oh, they seem lovely.
He looks like if Matt Leinart was in better shape.
Or like
Matt Leinert's in good shape.
Yeah, this guy's in good shape. They're a pretty people.
But like
that's a nice looking couple.
good looking couple. She's attractive. He's a good looking guy.
Now, but how does this go south?
It's gone apparently so south that the parents aren't.
The Mosses then changed the locks on the East 54th Street apartment Amy and Bradley shared, preventing her from getting into the apartment and getting her belongings.
This is all because the brother wanted to give a heartfelt toast.
Heartfelt toast.
It's gonna be heartfelt. It's gonna be heartfelt.
Yeah, that's not working for us. So guess what?
I made a video.
Your sister is locked out of her home.
How do you get from I want to give a heartfelt toast?
Feels like there might be a little more to this.
There was
Probably
a
something
lot
else
building up to this.
Yeah.
The Bazuras, they then filed a court order to allow Amy back in. The night before the hearing on the order, the Mosses relented only to allegedly humiliate Amy by mandating that an off-duty police officer accompany her to pack all of her belongings. So now under the vision of police, she is only allowed to go back into this place.
And her brother was going to give the speech.
Heartfelt speech.
A heartfelt
Yes.
speech.
In a romantic death blow, Bradley, 32, sued Amy, 27, for the engagement ring he had given her.
Wow.
It's now that we're going to play a game. How much did that ring cost?
Oh,
Now,
wow.
Here's what you know.
$325,000 wedding.
You know where the rehearsal dinner was.
A lot of pipe money.
Hotel
A lot of
threatening.
Long Island pipe money.
A will of significance. Because if you're threatening to cut someone out of that will,
It means
there's something in
I
it.
will also tell you this. I left it out because just for time. But the groom's family, the Mosses, had agreed to pay for their own guest. They are now rescinding that. That's also in court. The total on the amount of just their guests to the wedding of the groom's side, $89,000. Okay. So I don't know if that's factored into the grand total of $325.
That
or not.
said, now you two are married gentlemen.
Yes.
I'm not sure if
You
you're
two are
married
not.
status.
You two are not.
We are not
So
married
I've
yet.
never
John and I
had-
are not married right
by
now.
the
Never
way,
had to
ladies,
buy it. Yes.
folks.
Oh, I thought you meant to each other. No. Yeah, we're not married to each other either.
So I have not had to have the situation of purchasing
I
an
purchased a
engagement
ring 16 years ago. That's a
And?
different
I
time.
did 12, 13 years
So
ago.
you guys have both been through this thing.
We're out of the loop, but I could project further where I think
Now,
it is.
I'm going to throw out a number, and you'll either laugh at me or say,
I wanna
probably
hear it.
sounds right. $50K.
50,000.
Wow.
Now, what?
I'm not laughing at that.
That's high.
You guys are all familiar
But
with New
again,
York.
Long
Yeah.
Island Pipe Supply.
Yes.
Pipe supply.
But no,
Again.
yeah, for this, that feels like it's in the ballpark.
Okay. Also,
I mean, it's not Kobe
No.
1.2 million.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not talking like
No.
I raped a woman in
50
Eagle,
grand,
Colorado.
yeah.
Is a 54th Street apartment, is that ritzy? 54th Street
seems-
apartment?
that's
Yeah, it could
Midtown.
be
That's a nice. That's
we lived
Manhattan.
we lived at 55th and Broadway when we lived in New York. You know
in the
what?
Brill Building.
No, close.
Close to it.
Close to it. Close to Letterman's building. One
Yeah.
block up. You remember there was Apple Diner.
Apple Jacks.
Apple Jack's Diner. It was right under our building.
What was the
Block.
the Hello Deli?
Hello Deli. Sure. We were a block from Carnegie.
Mujibur and Sarah Jewel.
Muji Bar and Chevrolet right
guys.
there. Yeah.
Okay, so John Hamm is
50.
he's on
I
record.
love
for
that you did
$50,000.
Mujibar first. You're like
Sarah
the
Jewel
only
and-
person. It was Sarah Jewel and Mujibar.
That's John Hamm.
But he put Mujibar
he looks at things through both sides.
I look at the glass Mujibar first.
Look, he's
go alphabetical.
One of my favorite bands was Oates and Hall, and I don't know why anyone here is going to come at me and tell me.
I'm that way with Costello and Adler.
All right. He said 50,000.
50,000 from John Hamm.
I say
Randy Sklars.
I say 25,000. That is an expensive.
Now keep in
ring.
mind, this is it has to be
I
enough,
know it's
enough
rich.
to sue over.
I know.
And you know-
25,000 is enough to sue over.
And keep in mind also,
1,200.
Bradley Moss works for the company. He works for the company.
Yeah.
He's being threatened to be cut out of a will. People that throw around will threats usually have a lot in there.
Do you know Will
that's what I
Threats?
said. Will Threats.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Will Threats. Was he a middle reliever for any obscure 1980s
No, it
team
was
that you guys
not.
want to talk about?
No, that was
So
Will
then,
Threats.
also, if they were willing to pay $89,000, I figure that the pipeline.
I think it's 25,000. That's
Okay,
me, Jay.
okay.
What do you say?
I'm going to split the diff a little bit and say 35,000.
Does anybody want to go $1?
No, we can't. We won't
Can't
even
go
do
to-
that. Dan
Doesn't
knows
matter.
the
It's
answer.
just closest. You can
Just
go
go
over.
straight
You
up
can go over.
closest.
You can be over.
If
All
it's
right.
47, you win.
Dan, how much is it?
He sued her for the engagement ring he had given her at a total cost of $125,000.
Oh!
$125,800.
Wow, our ring game is way shabby.
$125,800.
How much
for
of
the
that
cost
was
that ring?
mental damages? You know what I mean? Like,
Jeez.
That's the ring.
That's the ring.
Well,
That's the
That's
ring.
little.
not for
like
nothing.
Lord of the Ring.
I would probably do that too. That's a lot of dough.
I mean, you would sue for that. Yeah, it's a lot of
yeah,
money.
you got to sue for that back.
I guess though, I would if you've gone to this length of ridiculousness,
Sure.
just wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. That's it.
Box it up.
Box it,
But
just done.
I love,
It's
John, you
keep
made a
the
great
ring.
point. This all traces back to somebody saying to their friend, you think they'll let me, like, make a little toast?
That's it. Hey, man, you're drunk. I don't think you should.
No, I got this.
What's the-
Guys,
what's the-
I got- What could go wrong?
Hey,
It's not like someone's getting
Why don't you have
laughed out.
give him some coffee and then he can do it
No,
again.
no, just give me another.
No, don't give him
one
another.
more tequila.
Don't give him
another. No.
Make it happen.
Nope, do not
Mic
sing.
away from him.
Hold on a sec. Let me ask you, Adam.
Get him out of there.
What kind of toast is it going to be?
It's gonna be heartfelt.
You're not going to get up there and
that
like,
scares me more than
From the
anything.
heart, you guys.
That
Remember
scares me more than
movie?
anything. Oh,
One
God.
from the heart.
Nope.
No,
He's-
I don't remember.
he's
That's
too
not even a
drunk.
movie. That's not a movie.
I'm gonna do Jim Gaffigan now.
No, that's
so weird.
and then you know that Adam had a friend behind him that was like, let him say something.
hey,
All he wants to do is fucking say something.
hey, Jeff. Hey, easy.
Thank you, Jeff.
Dude, of course, man.
Give me the goddamn mic.
No.
Where's the
Calm
mic?
him down.
You're holding
Listen,
the
first
microphone.
of
He's
all-
holding the
He just
microphone.
wants to be a good brother.
Why is he breathing so loudly?
I don't know.
Where'd he get a laptop? No, we're not.
No, we're
is
not
he
doing
doing
a
with
movie.
Gaffigan's material?
Now he's into the main video
He
system.
just went into
said-
the Hot Pockets bit.
Look, he said he made a video package.
From the heart -1. From the heart -1.
It says from
Play
the
it.
hard.
No, not from the heart. Not.
Look at
I
that.
love it.
100
Story 2 down in the book.
So that wedding, what we know about it was $450,000
Oh, my
into that
God.
wedding.
If you're going ring
you owe
too.
the ring and the whole
plus
thing.
deposit.
I don't even know if that includes
In other
blue plate.
words, everybody
Whatever it was.
elope. Period.
Elope.
Guys, we have one more segment. And, look, we talked to the great actor Jon Hamm, who's had experience winning awards. This controversy, I think, opens up a
lot
whole
of-
thing. And that is why we got a voicemail from Steven Seagal, who has explained his... I guess controversies in the past, or he wants
Or
to
his
now,
questions about
he
how
wants
the
to
past
reopen
transcribed.
some old cold cases as far as like
Stevie
whether or not-
Seeks is like his
Stevie's-
weighing in.
Yeah, he's calling us it. Well, he
So
left.
we'll
a
do that
voicemail,
in the
so
next segment. There's more Dumb People Town right after this.
Hey there, Adam Conover here. Humans Who Make Games is my podcast where I sit down with the people who created some of your favorite video games and have the kind of long-form personal conversation we so rarely get to hear. We talk about how they got into the industry, what their favorite games were growing up, and what it's like working in the trenches of this century's greatest new art form. This season, we've got a whole batch of new interviews for you. I talked to Kim Swift from Portal, Alex Preston from Hyperlight Drifter, Anna McGill from Control, and Alex Beecham from the game Outer Wilds. Whether you love video games or you just love learning more about other artists' creative process, I can guarantee you're going to love this podcast. So, you can get Season 2 of Humans Who Make Games wherever you get your podcasts. Take a listen.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Dumb People Town. Follow, of course, Daniel Van Kirk on Twitter. Follow us.
Guys, here's a good thing to do with this podcast, and this is really helpful to us. If you like it,
Rate it.
leave a review. Even if you don't
On
like it,
iTunes.
give it 5 stars. This is like Crab Feast.
It's like Uber.
type thing.
Just-
Yeah,
it's
just give it
5 stars.
Just
Give
5
5
stars.
What does it mean to your life?
Exactly. Just
What-
get,
and who's the guy that's
give-
like 1 star?
just
Because
give it 5
That really
stars.
says more about you than about anything else.
Like you're really wanting to take someone
Really?
down a peg.
Okay.
Come on.
give it 5 stars, rate it, review it, and subscribe. And these are all wonderful things to help us keep us in the zeitgeist, as it were.
Yes.
There's a tiny clay penis over your left shoulder.
Oh my God!
Isn't that
there is
nice?
A tiny clay penis.
This is us.
Which, by the way,
This ain't us.
the title of my podcast,
Tiny clay penis.
Tiny clay penis.
TCP.
TC.
And then the fact that you will 3 episodes in change it to tiny Muhammad Ali is unbelievable. Tiny.
Cassius
That's just an unbelievable. Cassius Clay Penis. Great name for a man.
Cassius Clay Penis. Cassius Clay Penis. That is the thing.
That man. I mean, I'm sure.
John, I wanted to ask you a question. We talked about goofing around on set. How much fun did you have Keeping Up with the Joneses?
Well, I had an awful lot of fun making that movie.
Because of Zach is ridiculous. We just watched that on the plane.
Zachary Galifianakis and I have known one another almost as long as I've known these boys.
About the same.
Because of the Largo of it all, which is, for those listening at home, a seminal, and by that I mean covered in semen.
Yeah, totally semenized.
Seminal.
It's been semenized.
It's been semenized
by the press.
Seminal comedy club, no longer there, although there, but
it's
just
moved
a
to the
different
Cornet Theater
thing.
Yeah.
But the old Largo was just a hot room on Monday nights because it was the open mic, and that's when I first saw Zach. That was 20 years ago, at least, and so we got a chance to work together, and it was a lot of fun. We had such a good time, and we made a movie now that's on airplanes, so now people are seeing it. But
I saw it and thought you were fantastic.
We made a fun movie.
It reminded me of the In-Laws in a great way, in the best possible way.
God, Zach's just so dang funny, and
so
he would
funny.
come up with stuff on the day, and I was like, who are
Where are you going with
This is
this?
so good. There's
So
a
fun.
scene, I don't even know if it made the final cut, but like, there's a scene where we surprise them or something. It's like a shock cut, and Zach has an onion in his hand, like a big onion. And I hadn't seen the previous thing, but he was like, they were getting ready to like fight.
Throwing stuff.
And he grabs an onion.
Yeah.
As his weapon?
As the thing he's
so
going to
I'm
throw.
like, guys, let's just and I go, why do you have an onion? And it's not scripted at all. I don't even know if it's in the final film,
And
but I
he's
literally
like,
was just like,
he's like,
I don't
what I
know. It was
grabbed.
there.
That's ridiculous.
You
I
also
love
just
him.
reminded me talking about being at live shows. Doug Benson and I have constantly talked about the idea of having you reprise your role as Donnie Wahlberg next time I do Mark. Remember that we had that whole bit lined up where you were going to come out and ask if you had parked the car in the right place?
Mark, have I parked the car?
Dude, I told you.
No,
wait in
Mark.
the car. Don't come in here while I'm doing my shows.
I'm sorry. Mark, did I park it?
Dude, we want
Dude,
you
it's
to,
right by the Wahlberg.
Doug and I want
I
to make
swear
this
to
happen.
God, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Just do it right, dude.
I'm sorry.
You know
so
what?
he's not
No-
going to unpack the car.
You don't get an allowance this
I'm
week.
sorry.
You don't
Mark,
get an allowance this
Mark,
week.
You can't.
No, you can't do that,
I'm sorry.
David.
I got to do it.
We have to. We have to. You reminded me of that.
Most
You
definitely.
most
have to.
definitely have to.
All right, you guys want to do a final
Let's do
story?
a final story.
Let's do it.
We got Jon Hamm here. Let's
All
do
right,
a final story.
this story is about
Final story.
This story is about two types of people. Either the type of people we've all been,
Yep.
or friends that we've had.
Yep.
There's no way you're not one of these.
Yep. You're
Sent in
connected
by
in
Jock.
1 degree.
If it's Cartier, it's Tier, right?
Yeah. Jacques Cartier.
Or Cartier. Jacques Cartier. At Jacques Cartier. Thanks, buddy. Hashtag dumb
if
people
that's
sound
his
stuff
real
in.
name,
Jacques Cartier.
Jacques
Cartier.
that's an unbelievable name.
Killer name.
That's a French.
Two-
That's a French tennis pro.
Two New Brunswick men
New
have been
Jersey.
arrested after allegedly going through a McDonald's drive-thru
Naked.
on a couch.
Oh. What?
Yes.
I'm calling bullshit.
They can't be
Nope.
arrested for that.
I know. To me, that's...
Going through on a couch?
Also,
a couch.
New Brunswick,
New Jersey.
Nova
That's
Scotia?
no.
Yes. Yes.
Well, really?
Yes.
Wow. I was going to say New Jersey. Jersey, that's allowed.
Although
Miramichi.
anything happens in Nova Scotia.
Yes.
What happens in Nova Scotia stays in Nova Scotia.
Literally,
which is, I
because there's
believe,
Not now.
there's no internet.
there's no
Oh, is that
communication
why?
whatsoever.
Miramichi
Nobody
police
out.
said an officer spotted the couch being towed behind an ATV at 3:19 a.m. Thursday in the McDonald's drive-thru.
This is an idea that was had at midnight.
Oh, yeah. Remember all those ideas you have when you're just drinking with your friends?
Yeah.
Hold on.
We're going to do it.
Always great.
We're going to do
It's
it.
like boxed wine, but it's boxed beer.
We're going to do it.
We should do that.
Nobody
but these
discovers
guys
like
followed-
a cure for like pancreatic cancer.
No.
in those
No.
moments.
No.
They're never there.
What
It's
if
always
you
like, what
took
if we
us through the drive-thru?
on the couch?
On the couch.
And we don't
Yes.
even get up.
I'm not getting up, and I am getting drive-through.
But if they
So how are we going to
things-
reconcile this?
We're going to figure out how this works. Funny you ask.
Get the ATV.
Put this.
Go get the four-wheel.
Take this
Hook it on up.
on the road.
Do you still? No, there's definitely a question of do you still have that ATV?
Have it. That's how I got
then
over
one
here
person's
tonight.
like, guys,
These keys ain't jingling for no reason.
There's always the guy who's worried. There's the guy who's worried who is completely juxtaposed with the overly optimistic guy. So you know there's a guy who is like, guys, what if the cops see us? And they go, dude, if the cops see us,
It'll be amazing.
What are they
they
gonna
will
do?
love
Gonna
that we
love
did
it.
this.
They'll
They're
want
gonna
us to
love
order
it.
them stuff. They'll think it's so
They're gonna
funny.
love it. We'll ask them to sit down on the couch with
Dude, they'll
us.
probably patrol on the couch with us.
You know how everybody's like, you can buy this with just the change in your couch? Let's find out
do
for real.
this.
Let's dig in.
let's be
there.
that couch change we want to see in the world.
That's right. If I can change,
Be the couch
you can change.
But I love the idea. If you're saying this actually started at midnight,
I
and
think it
at
started at
almost
midnight.
3:30 in the morning,
That's
they're
when they
following
got it
through.
together.
I'm pretty proud of them.
That's unbelievable
if you're following
follow-through.
And if you're working at a McDonald's at 3:30 in the morning, you can't not expect a couch.
You
to come
expect
through
to
the
see
drive.
at least
You're like,
one couch.
Oh man.
Just please, like,
When's it coming?
This is what you say every time.
No, we're not serving breakfast yet.
That's the one thing. The other thing you say every time between the time the person places the order to the time they show up at the window, please let them not be jerking off. That's literally what you're saying. That's the mantra that's
couch.
going through your head the whole time.
If I can just avoid it,
I don't
tonight.
want to see someone's penis that I don't want
Right.
to see.
Quote, and
God,
when
you're on a couch.
On the couch.
and when the officer put his lights on, of course he took off. The four-wheeler did, with the sofa still attached.
So you're gonna have to pull the couch over. Just take the couch over to the side of the road.
I imagine the cop
Pull
just
the cat.
window.
Can't hear you.
Sir, we need you to pull the couch over. I can't, sir, turn off the ATV and pull the couch over to the side of the road.
Probably still going faster than OJ in the Bronco.
But he left the sofa.
Too soon.
Or he left his two passengers from the sofa at the driveway.
God, when they won the Academy Award last night, I tweeted out, OJ is sitting in a cell somewhere, quietly fist pumping, going, still got it.
That was
Still
one of my
got
favorite
it.
jokes.
I was going to say
Jimmy
Kimmel's follow-up, which I didn't hear because I was at a dinner
Oh,
party.
His
God.
joke about
But there was something about an extra
he gets
slice
an
of
extra
bologna.
slice of bologna tonight.
Yeah, but even his joke.
Which sounded so dirty.
And then he
And
made
I
the
just
joke.
imagine them just like bringing it over and just dropping it on.
Like, oh, that sounded so dirty.
And then he made the joke. He goes, and that was the point where Kimmel lost the audience.
the crowd turned on Kimmel
Yeah.
about halfway through.
Good joke. And then an even better joke after that. He goes, yes, because God forbid I make fun of wonderful, sweet OJ. It's like, yeah, you're right.
Sweet
Great.
man. Oh,
Glad we're all
good guy.
protecting OJ.
What a good
Yeah.
guy.
But one of the greatest documentaries I've ever seen.
Unbelievable.
All 10 hours of it.
Oh my God.
Anybody who is at the beginning of it.
That must have been around the time that you guys moved to L.A.
No, it was
94?
94. We were in New York. So we had
Okay, so you guys went to New York first.
but we had just graduated from
For those of you
Michigan.
listening at home, Randy, Jason, and I are all the same age.
I think we're a year younger, or I mean, ish, yeah.
So
same.
we all kind of went to high school around the same time.
Yeah,
so
knew very many of the same
lots
people.
of folks.
But
Where
then
were you out here?
you came to LA.
I came to LA during the civil trial.
Okay, so you
So post-earthquake,
Specifically for
post-OJ.
the civil trial.
I came as a star witness.
Guys, we need
Jerry Spence had me on.
Get me
on
that
as a-
kid from Burroughs. Need him out here?
We need a regular guy.
just a dude from St. Louis. Can you bring him in? We went to New York, but we went to Europe. Like to just travel through
band?
Europe. Yes, we went to travel through Europe right after college.
When the heart rules the mind.
That's your Europe
Wow,
choice?
the final countdown doesn't even come into
No,
the equation.
no.
You
Second.
love to switch it. It's really...
Again, Costello and Abbott.
Costello and Abbott. So we were
Rosen Hall.
in Europe, and there was no internet, and there was and we picked up a newspaper in like Brussels, and it was like OJ killed his wife. We were like, what?
No,
What?
the Time magazine cover
Yeah.
was like on a newsstand in...
Hokey smokes.
That's how we found out.
Analog media?
Yeah, we missed it. We missed all of it. We didn't see the Knicks game where you saw the chase and all.
Well, so I was working in a restaurant in St. Louis.
Which one?
Cardwell's.
Yes, know it.
Clayton, Missouri.
Great.
Know it well.
And I was waiting tables, and I'm like, where are my customers?
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, like all of
one's
my
there.
tables were empty, and I was like, bringing a fresh iced tea to someone, and I'm like, where
What
did
is
everybody
going
go?
on?
And so I've make my way to the bar, which is jammed
With everybody watching what is
with
going
everyone watching a tiny television.
How did they know what was going on? Someone must have been like,
it
hey,
started like
the words spin around the thing.
It cut into everything.
But-
It cut into everything.
Whatever game,
Not
it cut
only-
into the finals.
Okay, but
The
now
NBA finals.
But listen, you're sitting at Cardwell's enjoying
Who hasn't?
a piece of St. Louis swordfish, whatever you're eating.
No, did they do toasted ravioli at Cardwell's? No,
No, they did not.
So, but
Cider
today, everyone's watch or phone or everything would
Right.
just start blowing up. And did you see this? Did you see this? Back then,
You had to get up and walk over
No,
to the bar.
someone had to
Somebody
say,
from the bar was
"Holy
like,
shit!"
"Guys,
OJ's in a chase, and then all of a sudden, 50
What?
people are in it.
OJ's
Get out
in
of
a
it.
what?
O.J.
No, he's
Simpson.
not.
So
no,
for
O.J.
us-
Simpson. And then you got up and you looked.
I mean,
at
this
the,
document.
So when I watched this doc, it was like the first time we saw it. That was chilling and crazy and
'Cause you
amazing.
missed it all.
We missed it
We
when it
missed it.
happened.
By the way, it was
Chilling.
the craziest thing in the world.
The whole time I'm like, even knowing that he survives, the entire time that he's in the thing, I'm like, oh, he's going to shoot himself. There's going to be a shooting on TV. There's going to be a suicide on TV. That's what I'm thinking the whole time.
Straight
the car's going.
suey.
John, when you were living out here,
Matt
were you a server here during when you
Decade.
moved here then? In 95?
Just thinking about Suey.
I said Matt Suey,
Godzilla.
you remember Matt Suey, the
Yes.
running back
Matt
for
Suey.
For the Bears.
Matthew Suey.
and you bumped it up to Hideki Matt
That's
Suey.
it.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah. What did you...
Were you working in a restaurant here during 95 when you first got here?
Yes.
And was it just everything in this city? Was people just talking about
Well,
OJ
it was also
every day?
yes. And I was working in a restaurant in Venice called 72 Market Street,
yeah.
which was the first time I ever saw paparazzi because Richard Gere had come in and he had just broken up with Cindy Crawford, and everyone was like, "Whoa!"
And there were people lined up outside with...
Your gerbil, sir.
Like crazy. I was like, "What's going on? Like, what are they doing?" And a friend of mine who worked there was like, "That's the paparazzi." I was like,
Oh, that's how I see those.
Someday, John. Someday. And
also,
then-
by the way, Richard Gere may be the most handsome man I've ever seen in my life.
He is stunning.
Especially
coming
in
from you, that's an
1995.
unbelievable.
95 so grayish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just a
Which, by the way, why doesn't he do a show with Anthony Anderson called Grayish?
John, you're meeting people back in the day. Your Lionel Richie story?
All night long.
Tell it.
Can you tell us a little Lionel
Yes,
Richie?
there is, I think, still extant, a place in Westwood called Monty's.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it was at the top of a building
Yep, we've been there.
in Westwood Village. And so apparently, and I didn't know this at the time, I was working at another restaurant that was kind of near there. And for whatever reason, I happened to go to this place after like a shift. Someone was like, "Let's get a drink." I was like, "Fine." And I'm like, "Let's go to Monty's." And I was like, "Sure." I don't know what that is. Let's go. And we go to this place, and I'm like, "Ooh, it's a little more fancy than I feel because I'm in black and whites, like waiter
Yeah.
gear."
Waiter gear,
but
yeah.
you kind of look,
Your non-slip
look
shoes.
dressed up.
You can kind of pull it off.
And
Exactly.
3 people asked you for the check, and you were like, I'm not.
I don't
on right now. Thank you.
Yes. I'll get
So
it for
I go to the bar and I'm getting a drink for my friend, and I'm like I'm standing at the bar, like kind of waiting my turn, and I look to my left, and it's Lionel Richie.
No.
Yeah.
And I went and I did a full
Triple
dummy,
take.
triple, dumple take.
We are the world.
Fuck it.
And I was like, and all I could think of was like, there was a moment in time. By the way, Lionel Richie's, I think the album is called All Night Long. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have
Dancing
no.
on the
It's
Ceiling?
it's no. I have the album. It's like him just in
Yeah,
like
in a-
in
in a-
like
like a
relaxed
sweater.
outfit. Yeah,
Just
just
like-
could not be brighter.
Can't-
I'm like,
what's
this.
it called?
There's nothing dark about this.
No, it's like blown out. It
so
could be more 80s.
white. He's like in, and he's wearing like a
And he has that
blue t-shirt. Yeah, the whole
amazing haircut.
mane of hair.
And all I could think of was like, there was a time when Lionel Richie, arguably more pop. That's the one.
You are?
Oh yeah.
But what's the-
that's not
what's
the one.
what's the-
No, that's the next album. I know what it is, but it's the one with All Night Long and all that other
Yes.
stuff.
All right.
That record
Yeah,
he won 8 Grammys. That
so
year.
many. He was
It's chock a block.
he was Black Adele.
There was a moment
was
where
Black Adele.
Black
like
Adele.
like where
That's it.
Yes,
Black
that's
Adele.
it. That's
no,
it.
that's not the album. I will show you the album.
It's not all night long?
No.
I think it all night.
Everyone you meet,
Well, they'll be jamming in the streets
all night long.
all night long.
So you next to
Sambolita
him.
sestimo, yeah.
I know.
Jambo, jambo.
So you saw him, and
So
like,
I'm standing next to Lionel Richie, and I'm like, well, I don't know what's the protocol. And he's just by himself. He's just having a drink at Monty's on a Tuesday.
Begging to be spoken to by someone who
When he's alone or wanting
Desperately wanting to not
alone.
be spoken to.
Although if you desperately want to not be spoken to, then you're not
have a
out.
drink at your own
Have
house.
a drink at home.
It's a fair point. So I've said...
Okay, it's Can't Slow Down is the name of the album. That's him sitting in the thing. It's got
that's the record.
All Night Long, Stuck on You, Running with the Night. Hello, is it me? Come on,
Lionel
Penny Lover.
Penny Lover, don't
This is
walk
what-
on by.
This is what I'm saying.
So what was your
Loafer.
protocol? What'd you do?
I said, hi. I said, I'm so sorry. I did the thing that everyone does. I'm so sorry
To bother you.
Fair.
to bother you.
Which people now say to you when they see
People now
you.
say to me, and I said, but I'm such a fan of your work.
That's a great
And
in.
he looked at me and he went, thanks. And I said, I'm John. I'm Lionel. Nice to meet you. And that was it. And
You
I
let it
walked
go.
away. I had to let it go. But I
And
was
when
like,
did he finger you?
shortly after.
No.
No.
He said,
saw-
be
you
he told
saw-
you to be a blind girl, make a sculpture, and he's going to get
He was
behind
like, hello. Is it me? Now, there's a famous story from that
Video?
video
Which is what?
that Lionel Richie apparently had, and this is all hearsay, apparently had a massive crush on that beautiful woman.
And
who
had a
flew
heart
in
on the entire time.
and sent her to his hairstylist and
if that's not a
gave
power
her the
move,
same haircut
As him?
as him.
That's some
And the
fucking Liberace
and the
shit.
director was like, what? Why do you have the
Who
same
ordered
hair?
the standard black poodle? Again. I can't handle it.
Oh,
You ran into Lionel years later, if I remember correctly, didn't you? Like backstage,
somewhere, yeah.
and you asked him about.
Did he remember?
No.
of course not. Of course he did. Because Lionel Richie. All right, do we have one
I
more
love
story?
it. We're just finishing up this one.
Let's finish this one.
The driver raced through the parking lot across the
we're still on
highway.
a story. Yeah, we're still on a story, yeah.
He left the drunk people behind. They fell off the couch when he
course
sped
they
away
did.
on the ATV.
Because you're not meant to
Drive
No.
a couch on the road.
That's why.
not at that speed.
No.
He
This
he
ain't
raced
us.
through the parking lot, across the highway,
us.
and onto the frozen Miramichi River.
Yep.
Still towing the couch through much of his escape. He just started driving over
Yeah.
frozen
Well,
water.
he's on an
That's a
ATV.
Canada,
He can go anywhere.
Canada
That's
move.
so Canada.
Canada
Yes.
move.
By the way, let me just say that couch was an off-road couch as well.
By the way,
Yeah.
the fact that the couch is still
Connected.
in
Says
any
a-
kind of good shape.
If I'm the maker of that couch,
You're
I use
welcome.
that in an ad.
Yeah.
Brooke
Right.
Dubman.
Quote from the police.
Because you like nice things.
Quote
That
from the
are-
police.
you like nice
The
things.
two passengers from the
no
sofa
one knows
or
what
couch.
we're talking about.
Brooke Dubman owned a small furniture store called Carroll House Furniture
Furniture
because you like nice things.
You like nice
But
things.
our joke was that he always it seemed like he was excited when there was a natural disaster
Yes.
because it gave him an opportunity to slash prices.
While lightning struck my uncle, we took the opportunity to slash prices on this love scene. You know, like
In 2001, the Taliban attacked our freedom. That's why we're going to declare a war on high prices.
According to Corporal.
There may not be a better market for local advertising
oh
than St.
my
Louis.
God, the best.
The best.
I mean, everybody says
I
it
do
about
like your guys. You guys did do a bit. I think you must have been in Minnesota or something about Menards.
Menards.
But I will say that I will stack our
Uncle Leonard,
Uncle Leonard,
Wild
Steve
Warehouse
Misery,
Waterbed, yeah, Steve, yeah, those
Princess
guys.
of Tile,
Betty,
As
Wanda,
we know,
Queen
the
of Carpet.
Unique Boutique, Tommy Tucker.
Against anybody.
I will.
I mean, I
we
want-
have a deep bench.
But here's the thing: I went down a rabbit hole one time and watched, I started watching stuff about the Pittsburgh Pirates from the late '70s, early '80s, and got into some local Pittsburgh
me
commercials.
more.
And I was like, now I'm down in the rabbit hole of local
Yeah,
Pittsburgh commercials
sure.
from 1979, and I'm loving
Loving it.
I don't know
because
why.
I guarantee you, Willie Stargell was featured.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know why the three of you don't go back and do a local St. Louis commercial.
Can we
for
do
somebody.
Yes.
something for Hi Fi Faux Fum? You be high, I be fi, and
I'll be
Jay's Faux
faux.
Fum.
Exclamation point.
Take it from Fum. This weird mascot that was
So note.
Kind of a
the
blob.
music note. But yeah.
Was it?
And they did car stereos and it's
By the way,
Hi-Fi Faux
is there any business that has dried up more than that? Like the home stereo
high-end
thing?
stereo
Tape
business.
world.
Gone.
Maybe. Tape
yeah,
world.
maybe cassette tape world.
Tape world.
But beyond that, no, it's gone.
According to Corporal Lori McEachern,
McEachern.
the two passengers from the sofa or couch or whatever, I would say Davenport, you want to call it, were intoxicated. In case anybody didn't have that on the board.
Yeah.
He got away, the guy on the ATV, but they got the four-wheeler later that day and seized the four-wheeler, so now they just have to locate the driver. How hard can it be to find him? You have his two friends.
Also, there's 8 people in Nova Scotia.
Yeah. And you have his four-wheeler.
You're like, is it Dave? No.
No.
Is it Jerry? No. Is it Mike?
We're not saying. It's Mike. It's Mike.
It's probably Mike.
The fact that these guys had to
We're
go.
not saying.
Right.
These guys had to walk back into the police precinct. We lost him.
Yeah.
Two final
Just like,
things.
son of a...
Yeah, we lost him, eh?
Two final things.
Sorry.
Corporal McEachern said, it is illegal to tow a couch through a drive-thru. This is the most Canadian
Why?
thing.
Why is that illegal?
But the two men on the couch were wearing helmets.
Oh,
They're okay.
hey, it's
So
all right.
safety was
You know,
obviously
guys,
somewhat
safety
important.
first.
All
Safety
right.
first.
I'll
Yeah.
say this about that. God bless them. They were wearing helmets.
Safety first.
Well, they were chasing them. If it's Canadian police, they
Yeah.
were on horses.
Here we go.
So how
Probably
can they get out there?
Mounties.
They can't get out there.
Final thing. The two local men will face yet to be determined charges, which is also Canadian. They're like, we'll figure it
figure it
out.
out later.
By the way,
guys.
this could be the plot of the next Strange Brew. Am I
Or
right?
the new season of Fargo.
Oh!
Yes.
God, I would love that. Fuck.
Canadian
Available.
police.
2 guys on a couch.
You guys on the couch?
Canadian police did find it odd at the age discrepancies of the two men.
Oh, boy.
One of them is 28. How old do you guys want
right,
to
this
guess?
is it.
Guess
Go,
the
guess
age.
the age.
Go.
Guess the age. One of them's 28.
One of
the
them's 28.
I have a number in my head already.
Mine immediately went to 59.
Mine went to 68.
Mine went to 51.
51.
I think I'm wrong on this one.
One man is age 28. His older. None of you went younger.
Okay.
It could have been like an 11-year-old.
No, but
No,
it's
it's a
too close.
man.
No
It's a
way.
man.
You said much older.
39 years old.
Wow, that's not that old.
That's like a young uncle.
Yeah,
That's his
it's a
young
young,
uncle.
crazy young uncle.
It's like a young pope.
A young pope. Young
Young
pope.
Pope. The
Young pope, man. Young pope.
By the
Black
way-
pope would have been
by
better.
the way,
Black
young
would've-
pope. Excellent television.
Really?
I haven't
Have you
watched
no,
it yet.
really
I gotta
none?
watch the Young
None. I gotta watch Young Pope.
Dial it up.
I will dial
it's
it
so
up, baby.
good.
Oh, I will.
It's so good.
All right, I'll
J-Law?
dial up some young. I'll dial up some
YP.
young. YP.
PYP.
Well, speaking of, we mentioned before, speaking about young popes and straight players, we talked about Steven Seagal.
Ponytailed popes.
Ponytailed popes that he was calling in because, he wants to reopen the book on all the
case on
Oscars-
all of his films.
On all the films that he could have won. And he left us a voicemail, and let's take a listen to it.
You have one new voice message.
Konnichiwa. Hello, Sklar Brothers. I've only got a couple of minutes left on my card, so I gotta make this quick. I saw what happened in the Oscars, and I feel like we should do a retroactive investigation because I guarantee I was at least nominated, probably won, for Marked for Death, Above the Law, not Under Siege 1, but definitely Under Siege 2. And I think that if we open it back up, it would just boost up where I am. Another thing that I've recently opened up, I'm currently selling slightly used Girl Scout cookies that I signed the box of, so it's $17 a box, and you do have to pick it up and it's cash on delivery. And then if you also pick it up, if you give me a ride to the dry cleaners, I got 2 kimonos that I'm waiting to pick up. Alright, I'll talk to you later. You guys are big wigs, so not as big as me, but size-wise. But if you could just help me out with this and then, find out what Oscars I should have won, that'd be great. Alright, that's the beep. I got 1 minute left. Konnichiwa.
Wow.
Oscar Seagal.
John,
Thin mints.
John, we gotta get. What does he have?
I think I would have to
you
go
dare.
Samoa.
Yes!
Oh, wow. Dan, you have found an ally.
It is the best.
I would have to go
Frozen
Samoa.
I
Thin
just
Mints are
had
hard
the-
to-
Frozen Thin Mints are delicious. I'm just saying, if Steven Seagal's going to sign a
half
box,
You're saying he would have picked the
half
wrong
eaten.
one. All right, fine.
No, that is Samoa. They're all good. But
none of them are bad.
No, but the Samoa.
Also, great cause.
Yeah.
yes.
Cause. Steven Seagal's help is a wonderful cause.
All right, so now get into it, guys. That is a show.
There you go.
That is how we
You
do.
can tweet at Sklar Brothers and at Danny Van Kirk to say how right Jon Hamm and myself are.
All right, no debate.
All right.
Jon Hamm, thank you. You have an open invite on this show
Fellows,
anytime.
thank you very
I
much.
love that
It's
you
always
came.
a pleasure.
Wear that hat and
Wear the
in
hat
good
with
health.
We'll
pride.
wear it proudly.
And we'll be back next week. Jamar Neighbors is on the show. show next week from the roast battle.
Yes.
Really funny dude, and so
from
Keanu. He was so good as the blunt smoking guy from Keanu. He was incredible.
I
so,
like that movie.
guys, we'll be back next week, and thank you for watching or listening and rating and reviewing. We appreciate it. And subscribing.
Kisses on the bottom.